Hello everybody and welcome back to this McLaren career that we're currently playing on Motorsport Manager. I am Fuzzy Face, as you possibly know. Maybe you're new. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you don't mind, I'm going to take a little minute to show something. If you are a fan of football, maybe you want to check out my Football Manager game. We're currently playing with my hometown club, the Mighty Bantams, Bradford City. We're doing quite well in that game, so check that out. It's linked in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get back to this. The car is better than average. We're currently rolling in the door. As you saw last episode, we took on some really big sponsors. Partly in thanks to Jensen Button coming back into the car. We're making $2.5 million per race. We are working on the engine that is going to be next year's engine, so maybe it's 19 days to do that one. Yeah, by Singapore, by the next episode, we'll see what sort of rating we've got on next year's engine. We do have a really strong gearbox, I think. A 912 that we can get up to a 1005. That is going to be almost up to scratch next season. Hopefully that's somewhere near what, hopefully get above the Williams with that gearbox, maybe. It is an absolutely astounding leap forward gearbox wise, considering the best we have is an 894 which got banned. We're currently in the mid 800s with the gearboxes. We've got lots of money coming in. Drivers happy apart from Van Dorn, who's on his way out. Last time I put it to you that we should go for Mick Schumacher, and I think the consensus is that we should go for Mick Schumacher. So maybe we'll bring him in, maybe we'll get him in before the end of the season. We're rolling in enough money that we can pay this $1.5 million to offload Stoffel Van Dorn, and that would give us a room to go for Mick Schumacher. Because we sort of want to do that before he gets picked up by another team. So maybe next episode or an episode after that, we'll think about getting Mick Schumacher into the team. But anyway, this time we've got Milan. I don't think there's anything else to go through. Yeah, so we've got Milan. We're going to jump into Milan. We're going to run Milan practice. We're going to skip practice. Save a little bit of time. For me, for you. For me, for you. Yeah, so we'll jump into Milan. We'll run practice. We'll get back for qualifying in a second, which we sim through as well. With the free tier, with the free stages, is a little bit, but maybe in the future we might just do the shootout. If we get both cars into the shootout, we might take a look at the shootout, but that's something to think about further down the line. So let's get into this today. We're going to be running Milan. Hopefully we can get something out of this race, so let's get straight to it. So here we go with qualifying. It's starting out wet, it's getting wetter, it's getting dry. It's going to throw things into chaos a little bit. It usually does. We've got both cars low down on the intermediate tyres. We're going to be able to get out for another lap on in the dry, it looks like. Are we coming out? Are we coming out? Come on. Yes, we are. Just coming out. I thought we weren't coming back out then. 19th and 20th. Ah, Button just scrapes in. Button just scrapes in there. Alonso 10th. So a little bit slower than normal. I don't know why we're a little bit slower here. We obviously don't have that overpowered gearbox. Well, not overpowered, but a lot more powerful than the one that we have at the moment. That is not reliable enough to go in the car for this race, but it should be there for the next race. So we've got both Haas's out again. We've only got one Renault scrape. Hulkenberg scrapes into Q2 for one of the first times this season, and one of the Saubers out in Q3. That's not usual for them this season. Obviously they do have a really decent engine, and Carlos Sainz out as well in the Toro Rosso. So here we go with Q2. Hopefully it's not going to rain here. No, it doesn't look like it's going to be no rain hitting late on. So we're both currently out on track. Alonso 9th. Button really slow here for some reason. I don't know why Button is really slow. I'm guessing we're not performing as well here because obviously there's not a lot of corners here. It's not really about the aero package, which is what we're really strong at. It's more about the engine down these straights. So it is a race that we're possibly going to struggle in. It did rain late on there, didn't it? It got really wet as well. I'm not sure whether it's going to rain for the race, but Alonso squeaks into Q3 to the top 10 shootout. Button, meanwhile, out of the running, 15th place. Hulkenberg out. We've got the other Sauber out. Force India out. Thankfully, Alonso is in front of the other Force India, so hopefully that is going to be the case after Q3. And as we have seen from Q3, a lot of teams, no, just this time, no, everyone's got fresh softs out this time. We usually see teams not bring enough tyres. Williams this time haven't brought enough tyres for Stroll. He's on a pair of worn tyres. So I don't think we're going to beat his sponsor objective of 7th. We're currently 8th. Yeah, we're not going to be able to pick up that time to Verstappen. But we are a long way in front of Perez. 0.3 of a second almost in front of Perez. So that is good going there for us. And it looks like they're out of soft tyres as well. So let's get going here. Let's think about a strategy. Alonso 8th, just missed out on the sponsorship bonus. We get 300,000 per qualifying and 300,000 per race. So hopefully we can pick up the 300,000 in this race. We don't need it because we're making tons of money. With the forecast, we're starting out dry. Maybe we should buy the forecasting centre, and that would help us out. Right, let's not choose these yet. We need to think about strategy. 16 laps. So you can do it on 2 pair of soft tyres. Well, Button can anyway. Alonso's got a pair of worn tyres. He can do 4 laps. So, can he do a one... The hard tyre seemed about 3 seconds slower though. One stop of about 20 seconds. Try to do 12 laps at 36 seconds. So it's not worth it. So he's going to have to go soft. Medium is Alonso. But yeah, we can one stop for both cars. We can't do 2 softs with Alonso. But yeah, definitely the soft for Button. It's going to have to be the soft for Alonso because I didn't actually go for the medium trim, did I? Or should we? So we're not going to be on the soft tyre that long. Should we go for the tyre change? Yeah, we'll do that again this time. Because we're only going to be doing 4, maybe 5 laps if we squeak it. The weather depends upon the heat on the track, doesn't it? So here we go with the 2017 Italian Grand Prix. Weather is pretty cold, so it's going to be hard to get heat into these tyres. We can push with Button because he's got a little bit of extra life in these tyres. But Alonso makes a decent move there, up into 7th place at the moment. We're on the back of the Red Bulls, who we have, and Alonso drops down. That was both Force India's Anna Williams flying past us there. Button meanwhile is Toro Rossa's and Sauber's look really similar. 18th, the Toro Rossa's a little bit darker blue than the Sauber's. We do have the 25th year anniversary car, is it? The Sauber car. Button drops back down. Alonso struggling. We do struggle with pace, don't we? So it's going to be a struggle, but there we get past Max Verstappen seemingly struggling as well. A lot of these cars do seem to hold on to their boost, so we're going to do the same. We'll use it for Button. We'll try getting past these Renaults and a Sauber and a Renault. No, not quite. Not quite. We're going to have to think about turning down soon. Maybe we should go high mode. Not just yet. We'll try recover. Keep him in high mode a little bit longer. But Alonso up into 8th at the moment. He does have Massa in front, who's got his boost. We're going to be able to make that move anyway. So here we go. We're going to have to turn down right about now. It looks like everyone else has gone back down to yellows. The AI cars don't really mind about their tyres being cold. As we know, we can push with Button for a little bit longer. Maybe we'll go... Yeah, the AI don't really seem to mind about their tyres being cold. This time, do we need to pit after this lap? Let's use a little bit of a boost. Get onto the back of Daniel Ricciardo here. But 7th place is brilliant for us if we can finish here or hereabouts in this race. Obviously, we know all the other cars have in front of us have better engines. Force India have a better engines. Mercedes powered, they are a little bit better. This time, we're going to have to set up. It's 15% that these can go to, but we'll pit. We'll try and get the underkit. We can get to, we can't really go on the mediums either. We can't really go on the mediums. We need to get a few more laps. It's gonna have. We're gonna have to try and get an extra lap out of. Try and get an extra lap out of Alonso here. Just somehow try and get him through this. Try to catch up with the Sauber of Ericsson at the moment. Can we do that? We'll use boost, but it's not. We're seriously underpowered in this Grand Prix. Right down the straights, and here we go. Does this one still have the SLS bend here? Yes, it does. Alonso now. Are we going to be able to get round this lap without... Let's go backup mode. I'm going to use the boost to make up for any shortfall in the tyre. So we're not really losing any pace. We are losing sort of what we're using on the boost. So we're going to come in this time, and it's going to have to be the hard tyre for Alonso. There's no two ways about it. I don't think we'd make the mediums last. Would we? Could we make the mediums last? 11 laps. Could we make the mediums last? I will risk it. We'll risk it. We've got about 10 laps remaining. After this, 11 laps remaining. So we need to start thinking about recovering some fuel at some point. But here comes Alonso into the pits. We can't really do much with the tyre. We can't really push it. But hopefully, and a mistake, even though we've got the tyre guru boost on. Alonso comes out behind now. He's behind Ocon, who's come in for the hard tyre, so we should be a little bit quicker. But obviously we're going to have to really look after this medium tyre. But meanwhile, he can go quite a long way here. He got a Sauber coming into the pits. Ericsson already gone through his soft tyres. Ericsson wasn't in the top 10, so he's really pushed those tyres to the limit. And here comes Button. Not Button, Alonso. Here comes Alonso, 18th still. Everyone's managed to get back out in front of him. That was in front of him. So we haven't really made any gains there. These tyres, we're going to have to let them get cold. There's no two ways about it. We need to hold on to the tyres, and we're going to have to start thinking about going medium now as well. And we'll go medium as well with Button. But meanwhile, he can do another lap on these tyres. We need it to be 9 laps. So yeah, we can go another lap. Then we'll set up. We won't let these get too worn out. And then he's got 8 laps left on this tyre. We'll keep it with balanced. But meanwhile, gets passed by Valtteri Bottas, who has pitted already. But he's on a hard tyre as well. We're going to go on to another soft tyre here. We've got a lot of boost to use. We'll take it out the corner. We'll boost down this little bit of straight. We'll come off the boost, and then we'll boost. We'll boost once we hit this last S-bend into the pits. We'll boost from here. There we go. We hit the pits with a little bit of boost after that. So here comes Alonso. Boost. Boost. And our two McLarens really close to each other. 18th and 15th. A long way down the order, but... yeah, we're a long way down the order, but hopefully we can gain this back. So it looks like our run of really good results has come to an end. Alonso sets the quickest first sector here on the medium tyre. Is he going to do the same? No, but he's a lot quicker than he was last lap. He's got a Williams, a Stroll right on the back of him. We boost down this straight. But meanwhile, 18th. He's got the Sauber of Ericsson in front of him who's pitted as well. He's possibly slowing us down, so we need to try and get past him at some point. Come on, Button, we can do this. Boost, boost, get past him. There we go. Ericsson on the harder tyre would have been slowing us down, so it was imperative that we got past him. Alonso, meanwhile, is slowing Stroll down, it seems. His tyre's really cold, but we can't really push him because we need him to get to the end of the race. Let's push him for a tiny bit. Let's get a tiny little bit of heat in these tyres. We're now up into 12th. There's 2 places that we should be picking up from Kvyat and Sainz, whatever his name is. Alonso, are we going to see a Toro Rosso pit on this lap? We've got Kvyat second. Is he going to be the one to make the pit first? And there Kvyat comes into the pit. Are we going to be able to get past him? Is the most important question. And we can push these tyres of Button a little bit, can't we? So there goes Alonso up into 11, up into 12. So did they pit both? Yeah, they double stacked in the pits, did the Toro Rossos. Button meanwhile now is stuck behind a Toro Rosso on a fresh, who is on a fresh pair of softs as well. It's going to be pretty hard to get past him. Go medium on these tyres. Still trying to recover fuel at this moment. We should be right on the limit that we can get back. So we need to hold on to this 10th place, although Alonso is getting onto the back of Esteban Ocon. If we can get close to him, he's on a hard tyre and he's worn through that tyre pretty quickly, hasn't he? We've done a good job of holding on to these medium tyres as Alonso, even though they're pretty cold, but we do have some boosts. Does Ocon have any boosts as well? He does have a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to take 9th, but we just need to hold off Kvyat, and Kvyat on the soft tyre a lot quicker. Alonso can't hold him off here. Alonso can't hold him off. Button now 13th. Can he get past Lance Stroll here? It doesn't look like we're going to have a points finish, does it? These tyres of Alonso getting pretty worn, but no problem with them. We can get to 10%, I think it is. Button meanwhile 13th. Alonso's going to be passed by Stroll as well. And let's let... it's usually the other way around. Button on the quicker tyre. He's pushing at the moment. We'll let him go. Alonso's not going to be happy with that, but Button is our best chance at the moment. And what are we on? We're coming up to the final lap now. I don't think there's any real chance of getting to Ocon unless his tyres fall off the cliff. Come on, Button, let's push this. Go for it, Button. It looks like we've got Ocon. He's out of it. Ocon's out of it, it looks. Are his tyres going to falter here? We can go high mode. There's only a couple of turns left. We're not going to get a points finish, but can we take Ocon before the line? Doesn't look like Ocon uses his boost to pull away there to the finish line. So it's 12th and 13th. Yeah, we would struggle at Milan because our engine is still shoddy at the moment. Hopefully next year our engine is going to be up to scratch. This is really not a track that suits us. It's a lot of high speed acceleration. Just something that our car's not good at all. So 12th and 13th, not the best race, but we are still in the money, and we're going to be able to see what the engine is like before the next race. So next episode you can tune in to see what the new engine is going to look like. So Alonso still 7th, 12th for Button. We're still 5th, more importantly, we're still ahead of Force India. We've dropped a little bit further behind the Williams this time out. Hopefully the chairman's not going to be too disappointed with us. He has been happy with us recently. Hopefully he's not going to be disappointed. Alonso's morale dropped a lot there, 20%, 94%, so it hasn't dropped that much, maybe 4% down because we finished 7th overall in that race. Doesn't make any difference to the money we're getting in, still 2.5 million. Look at all that money rolling in, 4.5 million. We're going to be in a great position next season, it looks like. Hopefully we're going to be able to get the car up to scratch, and then we can play catch up from that point and be even closer. And look at that, full wet in Singapore. So we're going to have the new gearbox whilst it's going to be fully wet. Wow, going to be full wet. It's going to be an interesting race in Singapore. But Bottas car, let's do this interview. Fernando Alonso has claimed that, yeah, engine seems, yeah, we need more investment. Go. Yeah, we'll go for the middle one because this one hurts marketability. This one upsets the chairman, so 5% off Alonso again. He's down to 59%. Hopefully we can keep him happy next season with the improved car, because he's not going to want to re-sign next season. He's got another year on this contract after this one. I do want him to stick around for maybe one more after that, or maybe just keep here as a talisman all the way through for another 5 years. I do want to keep hold of him. We're resigned to letting go of Van Dorn, but maybe let's make this move for Mick Schumacher now. It's 3-star rated up to, where is he? Where are you, Mick? There you are. Approach to sign. Start negotiation. My status isn't important, so he's going to be a reserve. He wants a long contract. His wages aren't important, so we'll just knock him up. And he's not interested in any of that, so we don't have to offer any of that. So he's going to be pretty cheap. Is he cheaper than Van Dorn? Yeah, so we'll be saving about 170 odd thousand next season. Maybe, no. Nearly 200,000 next season, yeah. So we'll be saving an extra £200,000 per race next season. So that is pretty decent going there. So next time out we do have Singapore. Acceleration crucial, so that is good for us because we're going to have that really strong gearbox in for the next race. Deceleration and front wing crucial, so it might not be too bad for us. We might be back to our normal sort of point scoring ways in the next race. But anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for your support, your likes, your comments. It's really very much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button down below if you're not already subscribed. But until next time, I will see you down the road in Singapore. But until then, goodbye.